Okay, folks, so it's been a while and I just got back from my vacation. And before that, I had been wanting to cover this particular topic. It's an important conversation that we need to have, and let's jump into it. Now, based off of that short and kind of different intro there, you can tell that this is not going to be my typical review video, right? This is going to be a video based off of the recent tech news and also just tech news in general, because there's so much to talk about. Now, the most important thing, the thing that I'm going to be focusing on today is going to be the Samsung ecosystem, what it means to you or for you, and also what it means for Apple as a company that has its own ecosystem. Now, if you've watched the latest Samsung event, the one from just 2 days ago, so the April Samsung event, and if you did pay attention to Samsung's style of marketing for these new devices that they're pushing out, you can tell that they're not being seen as traditional laptops per se, but instead to be seen as smartphone-like devices that happen to be called Galaxy Books. And it does sound familiar, right? Galaxy Books. Almost intriguing, which is the reason I actually went ahead and ordered one so that I can compare to my something book that I have here. So another something book. But anyways, some of the biggest selling points for these things are the ultra thin designs and the LTE and 5G support on some of the variants, making it possible for you to remain very mobile while at the same time well connected. And most importantly, the fact that they now integrate very seamlessly with the Samsung ecosystem. Now, to many of you who have been following the channel for a while, this definitely does sound familiar, because I have been warning for a while now. I have been warning and telling some of you to stop slipping on Samsung's plan to build a very stable and robust ecosystem. It's actually pretty much happening. As a matter of fact, it's here, right? And it's not just because of the newest line of Galaxy Books. It's been happening. It's here now. Because if you look back, you will realize that pretty much all new Samsung devices have a very seamless and continuous way to work together, and Samsung has been able to implement that and apply that on also devices from previous generations. By the way, if this is your first time visiting the channel, welcome, of course. If you do like the content so far, I truly appreciate that. Now, please do me a huge favor and hit both the like and the subscribe button there. Tremendous help to this channel here, and again, I very much appreciate that. Now, if you take a look at the Apple ecosystem, you are going to see that the iPhone is generally front and center, right? So that's kind of how they get you in. So you might start off with an iPhone, then next thing you know, you want to grab an iPad so that you can kind of, go back and forth between both devices. Then you realize, hey, the Apple Watch is also kind of a smaller version of an iPhone. Then you get that, next thing you know, you grab a MacBook and so forth, and that's kind of how you get sucked in. If you think about it and if you observe, you are going to see that Samsung is kind of following those same footsteps, right? So if you grab like a Galaxy phone, any Galaxy phone, a Z Fold or S21, S21 Ultra, whatever the case may be, you're going to realize that, it plays very well with other devices, other Samsung devices, right? Not necessarily even just other Android devices, but other Samsung devices. So next thing you know, you're grabbing one of these Galaxy Books. Next thing you know, after that, you're grabbing, a Galaxy Watch and so forth. And there you go. You are pretty much sucked into this other ecosystem. Now, Samsung has been gaining a good chunk of the mobile tech market share over the years, but there's no doubt in my mind that it is actually trying as hard as it can to conquer not only even more of the global market, but more importantly, to conquer the US market. They are definitely after the US market. And I think Samsung has started to figure things out in terms of the approach that they need to have for each device. Personally, I've always felt like Samsung was always kind of racing to build as many devices as possible. They've always looked at each device as kind of a singular product that they needed to build as quickly as possible and as many as possible and push them out and just move on to the next product. But today it seems to me as though they are looking at each device now the same way Apple does. Still a singular product, but this time around they're looking at it as an individual product, as an individual device that is part of a greater system, right? So it's still an individual device that you can use on its own, but it's also considered to be a piece, just kind of a piece of a puzzle, because if you buy that and you buy another device or another tablet made by Samsung, that also will be considered to be another piece to that same puzzle. So when you put all of them together, you get to really enjoy something at a greater level, right? Because that's how you build a whole uniform system, by kind of putting together pieces that work very well to form something very, very large. Even when you take a look at the software level and you look at the Samsung Internet, for example, you just see how optimized that thing is on a tablet, like on the Galaxy Tab, one of my Galaxy Tab S7 that I have here, for example. That thing is so well optimized when you use that, with DeX, with Samsung DeX, it works just so seamlessly with it. Even better than, Chrome. The almighty Chrome doesn't work as well with Samsung DeX the same way the Samsung Internet does. So Samsung is pretty much on a different type of journey nowadays. Now, with all that being said, they still need to continue to bring their A game, because when it comes down to that whole ecosystem game, Apple just does not play around. It remains the leader, and by that I mean Apple. It remains the leader in selling a little bit more than just hardware, right? So they're all about selling that experience. So that combo of software, hardware, the whole package, right? So Samsung is trying to catch up to that, and I think that's a good thing. This being said, here's what makes me happy with this whole thing, and in this tech world. We have a very, very good, robust ecosystem emerging, from the shadows, right? Let's call it that. Samsung is building something very, very good here. So it's up to you to look at it as either another Android company trying its luck at building an ecosystem that could potentially compete with the Apple ecosystem, like many have done in the past and failed, or as a fierce competitor of Apple, taking a very serious and interesting approach at attacking the market this time around. Because don't get it twisted, the sole purpose of building a solid ecosystem is just so that you can create an environment that is very consumer focused, right? It gives manufacturers tons of leverage, while at the same time making the consumers very happy. With a little bit of luck, it looks like we will be at a level where we have a choice, right? Two solid choices. You can either go all Android with Samsung or all Apple, right? So we are really getting very close to that. In either case, I'm always going to have one foot in, either one of the platforms. I'm very much looking forward to the Galaxy Book Pro that I ordered there, and I'm very much looking forward to pinning it against the MacBook Air and see, I personally think that's going to be a fair battle, so can't wait to make that video. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been so long since I made, it's been 3 weeks, I think. I do appreciate you sticking with me till the end of this video, my first video back from vacation. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm going to catch you in the next video like I always do. And as always, please do make sure to stay safe out there.